Hello, we're here at Davis, California for today's video diary for Project Cirrus. With me I've got Fraser Corson. I've also got Tad Smith, who's his jump master. Tad did his first jump back in 1980 and he's one of a handful of people that's actually jumped from 37,000 feet. Tad, talk us through some of the challenges first in getting the plane up to 37,000 feet.
The particular aircraft we have here now, the Cessna Caravan with a large engine on it, is one of the few aircraft that can successfully get to that altitude as a single engine turbine. So we have the aircraft, this particular aircraft, just the power and the ability of the wing to perform at altitude are the two parts, and this has come together to work well with this. The other aspect is the air traffic control to get clearance to go that high. This aircraft does not have the multitude of equipment that would be on it like a commercial airliner would have, that would tell air traffic control where they are very precisely. But we have a letter of understanding with Oakland Center, with the air traffic control people here locally. We've worked doing the jumps since the early 90s here. So we have a good track record and an understanding about what we're doing, and they allow us to proceed up. So effectively, they will clear the airspace for us to climb. They'll put aircraft above us and below us as we climb, and then once we get ready for Fraser to exit, they'll actually make sure the airspace is clear so that there's no aircraft below us inside a box that's about 15 miles long and about 10 miles wide. Once it gets below about 18,000 feet, he becomes basically a single engine or a glider in this case. So he's like a small aircraft. He's using visual flight regulations, although air traffic control will keep things open and make sure it advises of any aircraft that are in the area.
How important is weight getting up to that altitude?
In this particular, for most small aircraft, is extremely important. We're only going to have the pilot, myself, Fraser, and the appropriate fuel load for the IFR flight, and then the oxygen equipment and stuff. That's all. We wouldn't try to take a group of people up to the altitude because we know we wouldn't succeed.
Yesterday we were talking about the weather because we know Monday's going to be warm, and we're talking about the challenges with the plane getting up. And are you concerned about getting to 37,000 feet?
I believe once you get above a certain altitude, the temperatures stay pretty consistent. We went to 31,000 feet on Thursday, yesterday, and it was very warm. It was actually only minus 37 Celsius, which is warm for that altitude. So I have a concern about that the temperature, because that's going to affect the density of the air, and that's going to affect how much lift we get off the wing. So if it's cold at altitude, it actually helps us. It's a disadvantage for Fraser once he steps outside, but for the climb, it's going to be much better to have a colder air mass.
Brilliant. So Tad's got you to 37,000 feet. You're going to be using all of your experience gained from your 2,500 plus jumps. For the novices out there, people like me that have never done this, but we're captivated with what you're doing, what are you experiencing when you're exiting the plane?
So probably a few nerves before I actually get to the door, but in reality, we've gone through everything camp preparation. Once I exit the door, the biggest thing is making sure the exit's clean and I get away from the aircraft into flight mode. When I'm exiting the aircraft, because it's so high, it has to run in very fast, so it's flying forwards at like 250 knots or more. And that means that when I exit with a big wingsuit, I have to keep everything really tucked in and tight. Because the issue is if I don't have that, the danger is my wingsuit opens too early and I could actually get close to the tail of the aircraft, which would not be good for me and it would not be good for the aircraft. So that exit's critical. So my focus is first of all getting the exit. Once I've cleared the aircraft and I can see I'm clear of the aircraft, I'll be picking up a bearing which I'll be holding and flying a straight line whilst obviously keeping, eyeballing where I am, and I'll be navigating to a point so I can maximise my glide path. Fatigue's going to build up. The arms will get tired, that's natural, and I've trained very hard for that. A lot of fly weights and cardio on that. What I'm going to be focusing on is that I can safely deploy. And obviously throughout the entire process I'll be really monitoring personally, one, how I'm feeling and how the oxygen system's working with me, and if I need to do anything to deal with that at all, whether it be a dive or some other emergency procedure. So there's a lot of work up there, but once I'm actually out of the aircraft I have to focus on the job at hand. And the job at hand is obviously to go as far as I can for as long as I can, and we've trained hard for this, so I think we're ready now.
You've had a good prep day today. You've got a number of jumps in, all going to plan?
Yeah, it's been really good. We've tried out the helmet, we've rigged up the oxygen system so that it actually, I wanted to test first of all CFG, so if there was any change in terms of my flight dynamics to the wingsuit, and there's been no issue with that. I've flown at a number of different attitudes, so in other words I've flown very, very flat to see how it affected. I've flown it into some steep dives, I've done some turns with it, and there's no issue with it. I haven't got any flutter, so nothing's flapping against me. So from a safety perspective, we're on target, and I'm happy that it's not actually affecting my performance. I'm still flying really slow with it, so it's been a good day. Yeah, it's going well.
Excellent. Thanks, gents. Well, as always, if you've got any questions for anyone on the team, whether it's Fraser and the world records he's going to be looking to set, or the production team, Go on to Project Cirrus hashtag, drop us a question in a comment. We'll put it to the team and we'll get you some answers in the next couple of days. As you know, we're going to be here until Monday when we hope to be broadcasting live some world record breaking jumps by Fraser Corson. But for now, thanks very much. Take care.